Hello, everyone. My name is Roshon. I know it says Dr. Kathy Kirkland, but I just use her Zoom to do the training. So I was wanting to talk to you all a little bit about basics. Last week, I was asked to cover a couple of the cryptos, how to calculate the pips, and then I was asked to show you all how to do or explain how how to move your stop loss above your entry price so that you would be in profit if you happen to go negative. So those are the two things I'm going to start with. Is there anyone on here that needs help with something other than those two things? And I will grab my pen and write them down so I can go over them. Hang on. You can put them in the chat or you can unmute. So those of you all that just hopped on, because I just saw a big surge of people jump on. I'm going to go over how to calculate pips for a couple of the cryptos. I got a couple of inboxes and I was asked to go over those. And then after that, I'm going to go over how to move your stop loss and profit. And I was asking, is there anything else that everyone wants me or anybody needs me to go over? I know that I'm going to go over the spreadsheet. Someone asked me for the spreadsheet of how to grow your account, how to set a proper stop loss on fixed pairs. Okay, so somebody asked about how to set a stop loss on FX pairs. So I'll do that. I'll go over that. Is there anything else? And also indices. So if I show you, if I talk to you about, because what you're really asking for is risk management. So if I go over risk management with you, you will also know how to do the FX pairs. If I go over it with using the FX pairs, you'll know how to determine how you would like to do it for the indices also. You're welcome, not a problem. Anybody else? I'm asking up front because I don't want you to get to the end. We get to the end of this and then you go, oh yeah, I was hoping to hear about, because I've had that happen and I don't want that to happen. Confirmation checklist. Okay, so when you say confirmation checklist, Rochelle, what are you talking about to get in a trade? Okay, so now that's going to depend on how you trade. So that's going to vary. What I can do is I can give you basic confirmations based on how I get into a trade. The question is there anything that you need me to go over? That's the question. I've got about 5 things now. When I get to about 6 or 7, I'm going to stop because I only can do an hour on the Zoom. So I'll stop, but right now I have 5. I'm going to go through. Moving stop loss into profit, we got that one. And then she wanted me to go over confirmation. Okay. Best way to deposit funds into Hugo's Way account if possible. Need some help setting up the account. Okay. Now, Hugo's Way, I'll go ahead and tell you the answer to that. The best way to do Hugo's Way, that's the way I do mine. I can only tell you what I do because I can't tell you what anybody else does. I use Cash App. I put my money over in Cash App, convert it to Bitcoin, and then use blockchain to send it over to Hugo's Way. Stop loss to break even. Okay, I'll go over that when I'm going over moving stop loss into profit too. So, all right. So we now how to. Okay. Okay. So I've got about 7 here. I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna write the other ones down. If I don't get to yours this week, I will get to it next week. But I have a lot of requests here. So now I'm going to tell you the support and resistance one that's here, the level of support and resistance. I don't know if you were able to get on with Dr. Kathy's nephew. And I know that some of you all are not on Dr. Kathy's team. I have to remember that. But simple market structure is what that is. Support and resistance, that's pretty much what it is. And finding levels of support and resistance, that is a whole, that's a whole 30-minute lesson, okay? So I'm gonna tell you, I'm probably not gonna get to that this week, but I will do it next week. I'm gonna make myself a note to do a PowerPoint on support and resistance. I will get to it. But I cannot do the other 6 things that they want me to do and do support and resistance because it'll take up majority of the time. Okay, so I am going to pull up a just a blank PowerPoint so that I can have something to write on because I can't write on this right here. So just give me a second. Okay. Okay. All right, so cryptos. Now, the 2 I was asked to go over was Bitcoin. That was the first one I was asked to go over. So I'm going to go over Bitcoin, and then I'm going to go over Bitcoin Cash. Okay. It is very simple with those particular ones calculating pips. Now listen, this is provided that you already know how to calculate pips. If you do not know how to calculate pips, this is going to become very difficult for you. And that's probably one of the things you need to say, okay, I need you to go over calculating pips in your next training because that is a whole training by itself also, okay? If you don't know how to calculate pips, this is going to become very difficult, okay? That's the only thing. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to start with Bitcoin. And I know this is taking me a minute to write on this, but okay. So right now, I'm using my phone to look and see where Bitcoin's price is right at this moment, and we're going to use it from there. And I'll tell you how to calculate the pips from there. First of all, Bitcoin spread is 1188. And I talked about spreads last week. Remember, the spread is what you have to pay the broker before you can even go into profit. So when those spreads are that big, remember, you're going to start in the negative and you have to pay all of that negative money before you can even get your money. So keep that in mind. So the current price of Bitcoin right now is 5,343.41. Okay, so it's the first and the second number before the decimal point. Okay, so this is our decimal point right here. So we would take the 43 and you would add 10. If you're only adding, remember, you only add if you're buying Bitcoin. You add when you buy, you subtract when you subtract when you're selling. Okay, so it would be 3, 4 plus 1 is 5. So your take profit for 10 pips on Bitcoin would be 5353.41. That would be your take profit, and that would be positive 10 pips. So you calculate your pips from the first and the second number before the decimal place. Okay? Now, if you're doing big cash, it's a little different. And I chose those two different ones because you calculate, the place you calculate the pips is different. So big cash, right now, big cash is at, let me put it here. It is at 181.55. So to get the 10 pips from this one, you would take the first and the second number behind, because that's the decimal right there, behind the decimal place. So if we were going to sell it, we would subtract 10. 5 minus 0 is 5. 5 minus 1 is 4. Then you bring your decimal down, 181. So 181.45 would give you sell 10 pips, be negative 10 pips, which would be a sale. Okay, so this was the sell demonstration, and this is the buy demonstration.
Hello, excuse me, please.
Yes.
Can you calculate the Bitcoin, not the Bitcoin Cash, the Bitcoin?
Can I do what with Bitcoin?
The pips.
Oh, the pips. I only added 10 pips to Bitcoin using the first and the second number. The first and second number before the decimal place. So I only use 10. You can use any number you want to use. You can make this number 30. You can make it 40. I use 10 because that's the standard that Dr. Kathy goes by. She just does 10 pips. That's what she get, 10 pip and dip. And that's just the thing we use on our team. But you can add or subtract however many pips you feel like it's going to go. So if you think it's a buy for 70 pips, then you just add 70 pips to 43. And when you add that, you'll get that number. And then that number, what you'll do is you'll place it as your take profit.
Okay, I got it now.
You have to, did I not answer your question? Because you have to understand how to calculate pips.
Okay, can you just recalculate it again, please?
Yes. All right, try it again. Okay, so we're buying Bitcoin. Okay, we're gonna buy Bitcoin. We're gonna buy Bitcoin for 10 pips. That's all we're buying it for, is 10 pips. Okay, current price of Bitcoin, let me look again, sorry y'all. The current price of Bitcoin is 53.5300. Because you have to have your current price. Remember, you have to know that when you're calculating pips. You have to know what the current price is. 53.5300. Okay? Now, the first and the second number before, this is the first number, this is the second number, before the decimal place, which is those two numbers, this is my decimal place right here, is where I'm going to calculate my pips. When I buy, I add. So that's 10. I'm adding 10 pips. 3 minus 0 is 3. 3 plus 0 is 3, sorry. And 5 plus 1 is 6. I keep my decimal where it is. 0, 0, it comes down. And then my 53 comes down. So my take profit for 10 pips is 5363.00.
Okay, what if is the current market price is 5393?
Well, the current price is going to continually move. Okay, you have to remember that. The current price is constantly moving. So if the easiest way to make it not move on your trade is to go into Bitcoin, hit the word buy, that locks in your entry price. And this is a whole nother lesson. So you'll have to watch my video on calculating pips and how to do a buy stop and a sell stop, and it'll tell you about this. But you have to lock in your entry price. Then from your entry price, that's where you calculate your pips. So if you have the easiest way to lock in your entry price, and the way to lock in your entry price is you have to find Bitcoin, go in, hit buy. Once you hit buy, you will see that your entry price is now in a position. You take your entry price, then you do this pip calculation on it, and then that will give you how to get your take profit. Because if you try to look at current price and you don't put it in there, current price will move. It's going to constantly move because the market is constantly moving. Okay, so you have to understand that. You have to lock in your entry price. And like I said, I assumed that everybody had already seen my my pip calculation tutorial or training. I apologize, but you have to lock in entry price first. Once you lock your entry price in, then you can calculate your pips, but you have to lock in your entry price first because the market is going to move. And this also depends on whether you're buying or selling. If you're buying Bitcoin, then this is valid. But what if you're selling Bitcoin? Then this isn't valid. You'd have to subtract instead of add. Okay, any more questions that I can possibly answer?
You go with gold.
Hello? Are you trying to ask something or you just accidentally unmuted?
You go with pips for gold.
I can't hear you, I'm sorry. If you can't, type it in the chat. I'll answer it if it's in the chat too. Just type, if you can't get a hold of me because of reception issues, just type it in the chat. Okay, I am going to move on because I know that people have asked me to do a couple of other things. Pip calculations for gold. Okay, I'm going to put that on here because there's a whole list. I'm going to put pip calculation for gold on here, and I will I'll get to it. Just give me a second, okay? Because I actually do have a slide for that. All right, so the next thing that someone asked me to go over was stop loss and how to move your stop loss into profit. Okay, so we're going to take a click down here. Okay, so let's talk about stop losses. All right, so remember, your stop loss is what you are willing to lose. Is what you're willing to lose. Okay, so I'm going to, okay, with the moving the stop loss to break even and moving the stop loss into profit, I'm going to show those both, but I'm going to show them using regular Forex pairs. The concept is still the same. I mean, if I give you the show you that, you'll be able to do it for US 30 and any other pair that you, gold, oil, GER 30, S&P 100, whatever it is, you will know how to move your stop loss. Okay, just give me a second. I'm about to work on that right now. So remember that stop losses are normally not given. Okay, and Dr. Kathy doesn't give them for a reason. Many people do not give them for a reason. And the reason is because we don't know what's in your account. We don't know what you're willing to lose. And a stop loss is the amount that you're willing to lose on a trade. Okay, so I'm going to kind of combine this one along with breaking even. So we're going to make us up a stop loss. We're going to make up one of our own stop losses here. And so I'm going to use this stop loss right here. So we're going to use 1.3095. Okay. So that is our stop loss. Okay. Now this is for a pair that I use on a different training, but the concept is still going to be the same. Okay. So we calculated our stop loss to give us, we used 30 pip stop loss. We calculated from our entry price, as you can see right here. Okay, that was our entry price. We used the third and the fourth number behind the decimal place, 65. We because we were selling, we added 30, and that gave us 95. So we put the 95 in that same slot and kept everything else the same. That gave us our stop loss. How did we come up with that stop loss? Because this is the risk management part of it. What we did was we took our lot size, and then for every 10 pips, we calculated. So if my lot size is 0.10, I take 0.10 and I say, okay, 0.10, if it goes 10 pips negative, in the opposite direction from what I believe it should go, then I'm going to lose $10. Okay? So if I go 30 pips, that would be 10 pips here and 10 more pips here. With my lot size being the same all the way down, 0.10, I'm going to lose $10 more at 20 pips and $10 more at 30 pips. Okay? So at 30 pips with a 0.10 lot size, I'm risking $30 out of my account. That's what my risk is. Okay? My risk is $30. Okay, so that is how you think, that's what you think about when you're trying to create your stop loss. You have to know how to calculate the pips, okay? All right, so now, entry price. Now we're gonna move into moving our stop loss in front of our entry price. So, our entry price right here, this is our entry price. Our entry price is 1.30658. If we're in a trade And this trade is a buy, okay? This is a buy trade. And our entry price is 1.30658. We're gonna move it above our entry price. So if we move it above our entry price, we have to determine how many pips above our entry price do we want to secure, okay? How many pips are we wanting to secure? No matter what happens, we know we got these pips up under our belt, and when we get out of that trade, we're gonna get out with this amount of pips. So I'm gonna say we wanna secure 15, no, I'm gonna say, let's look around them. We're gonna secure 20 pips. So all we do is we add 20 pips, okay? So 5 plus 0 is 5, 6 plus 2 is 8. So we're gonna make our new stop loss, okay? Because then we're gonna put this in our stop loss spot, okay? Our old stop loss will be erased out of the stop loss spot in our MT4, and we will replace it with this number I'm about to put down. So our new stop loss is going to be 1.30858. That's our new stop loss. So no matter what happens, it's going to pop us out with at least 20 pips. Now this is if we're buying. I'm going to do one if we're selling. Okay, we go back to entry price. And if we're selling, we're subtracting. We're going to subtract 20 pips because we want to secure 20 pips. Okay? 5 minus 0 is 5. 6 minus 2 is 4. We bring the 8 down. 0, 3.1. That is our new stop loss if we are selling. Okay, so what you do is you go from your, here's your steps. Go from your entry, go to your entry price. You're going to put your stop loss as if it was a take profit. So if you want to secure 20 pips, if you want to secure 30 pips, if you want to secure 50 pips, however many pips you want to secure, then you're going to add or subtract, depending on whether or not you're buying or selling, it to your entry price. Then you're going to make that your new stop loss. You'll erase your old stop loss and put this particular number right here that you calculated as your stop loss. That is how you put your stop loss in profit. Okay? Now, if you want to break even, you have to consider your spread. Okay? If you don't consider your spread, you're going to pop out in the negative, because to break even with a stop loss just simply means that you put your entry price and your stop loss are the same. That's how you break even. Okay? I do not recommend that because remember, you got to pay the broker the spread. So if your spread is 3 pips and you want to at least break even, you have to at least add 3 pips to your stop loss to break even if you're trying to come out breaking even. Okay? Let me see. I saw something in the chat. Let me see if I can get to the chat. It does not like me today. So we add to entry price when moving stop loss on a buy. Yes. And then on a sale, you subtract from your entry price and make it your new stop loss. For the stop into profit, do you have to consider how much profit you are in? Well, yeah. I mean, I would consider how much profit I'm in. I mean, if I'm only in 10 pips, then I can't make my stop loss 20 pips in because it's not going to work. MT4 is not going to let you do it either. But so what you have to do is say, okay, I'm 50. Let's give you a snap. Okay, let's say I'm 50 pips in profit. If I'm 50 pips in profit, then I can say, okay, I want to secure 25 of those pips. So then you move your stop loss 25 pips into profit. So no matter what happens, you know I got 25 pips. Okay, now it may go up another 300 pips, and that's cool too. I'm happy about that. But on this trade, I know for a fact I've got 25 pips. All right, good. I'm glad that you understood. All right. So that was the break even and the movement of your stop loss into profit. All right, let me mark some of these off. Okay, and I went over how to put your stop, how to calculate your stop loss for your FX pairs. That was when I was doing the risk management, teaching you about the 0.10 equals $10, and you have to go on, because if you want to make it $50, then you have to say, okay, I'm gonna make a 50 pip stop loss. So that's why I was teaching that part. That was a risk management thing. All right, so now I'm gonna go over Pip calculation for gold real quick for my person that wanted that. Oh, go back. All right, now I'm gonna go over that. So gold calculation, hold on, let me get my little wand out here. Okay, we're gonna buy gold just for training purposes. So we're gonna do it for 10 pips, okay? You're gonna use the first and the second numbers behind the decimal place. Your entry price, I'm just calling out something. These are just numbers. You just have to remember, you have to find out where your entry price is. And you have to lock it in so that you can calculate your pips, okay? So my entry price for this particular trade was 1200.54. So the 5 and the 4 is what I'm going to use to calculate my pips. So I take 54. I'm going to add, because I am buying, 54 plus 10 is going to give me 64. So I'll take the 64 and I place it in the same slot, the first and the second number behind the decimal place, giving me a take profit of 1200.64. Now, let me tell you one more rule that I don't have on here. If this number right here goes above above 00, okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to add 1 to the number on to the number before the decimal place, which is this number. You're going to add 1 to that number. If the number, this number right here, the number behind the decimal place, 54, if it goes below 99, then you have to subtract 1 to the number before the decimal place right here. Everybody understand that? Or at least the lady that asked me to teach her how to calculate gold. Okay. I'm going to assume that everything is good. I haven't gotten any feedback on that. No, sorry. Okay. You don't. Okay. Can you tell me what you don't understand? Do you not, which part do you not understand about the movement of above and below, or do you not understand how to calculate the PIP at all? How to calculate. Okay. So I'm gonna go over it one more time. Now remember, PIP calculation is basic math, guys. It's not anything. You just have to know what part of the number you're calculating. It's basic math. It's basic adding and subtracting. That's all it is. So you're using the first and the second number behind the decimal place. So the first and the second number behind the decimal place, so this is behind it, is 54, right there. So you simply take 54. We're buying it, so we're going to add 10 pips. You're going to get 64. You take the 64 and you place it in the same slot that the 54 was in, the first and the second number behind the decimal place. So it gives you a take profit of 1,200.64. Then, if that 64, this number behind the decimal place, goes above 00, then you have to add 1 to the number on this side of the decimal place, before the decimal place. If the number goes below 99, this number right here, when you're calculating your pips, if it goes below, then you have to take that number, this number right here, has to minus 1. So you have to take it down 1. So it could go to 1201, or it could go to 1199. And I'll give you an example of it going above. So let me do that. So if I'm gonna do an example if it's a buy and it goes above 00. So 54 is the number we're calculating from. And let's say we decide that we're going to add 60 pips. That would give me above, no, 50. We're going to do 60 pips. So we would add 60 plus, so 4 plus 0 is going to give us 4. 6 plus 5 gives us 11. So that's 114. Okay. So we have this 1 that we would have to take and add to the 1200. So it would make it 1200. That would make that 1201. Point, decimal. These last 2 numbers would go in that spot where it says 54. So it'd be 1201.14. 1201.14 would be our take profit. And let me put that decimal place right there. There we go. So that would be our take profit if we wanted to add 60 and it went above the 00. You're welcome, Linda. Okay, so I taught you all how to calculate goal. All right, so let's, there was a lady that asked me to go through the confirmation checklist. So I did tell her, she said it was okay for me to do it this way. I'm gonna tell you the confirmation checklist of how oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I can't say your name. I think it's Taiki. I think that's how you say it, but I'm not good with names. I'm going to show you what I do on one of the ways that I trade. So I'm going to pull up my chart, and it is very busy. Okay, so please forgive the noise, but I'm going to pull it up anyway. So give me a second to switch to share. I'll try to clean it up, but it is what it is. And it's very basic. I use a lot of the ECC 11 strategies. I have the, I use the web, it's called Vibrant, but I call it the web analyzer. It's been that forever, a day and years in my world. Okay. So what happens is, and I don't know if you have it, if anyone has it, but if you're a part of IML, you can purchase it. It's called, I think it's called Vibrant, or I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's the old web analyzer. And it still has that name on there.
Vibrata.
Is what?
Vibrata.
Vibrata. Okay. So Vibrata, it's the old web analyzer. And what happens is there's dings. And those particular dings, they tell you where the market momentum is going. So the first thing I do is I wait for a ding to, somebody put something in the chat and I'm trying to get it to pull up. Hold on. I don't know if what I done did. Uh-oh. Okay. For some reason, I can't see the chat right now, and I don't quite know why I can't see the chat right now. Maybe it's because I have this up. Oh, there it is. Oh, Vibrata. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I wait for that to go ding. Once I hear it ding, I decide whether or not I'm going to get into the buy or the sell. And if they call a buy, I would just look to see on my chart. The first thing I'm going to look to see is the price. The price, and price is these little candles. Is price over the cloud, above the cloud? And is the cloud green? That's the first thing I look to see. Then I look to see if the red line is over the blue line. And if it is, then I say, okay, that's good. And if the red line is over the blue line and it's above the cloud, the next thing I do is I look left. And I see where price is going on this little green line. So here, it's not above the cloud, so I would not take this trade. But if it was above the cloud and the cloud was green, and I looked over here and I saw this line, this green line going up here, I would buy it up to this line, up to that line right there where it stops right here. Okay, and then normally it hits take profit for me, and I make my money, and I made lots of money doing just that. That simple. That's how simple. I love Vibrata. I love that that particular thing. It helps me out a whole lot. I need to know what. Okay, I'm not gonna be able to do that because our time is running short. And like I said, the Zoom, it turns off at a certain time. So I would have to show that next week. But Jamie, if you will inbox me or befriend me on Facebook, I will send you a link to where they show how to do it. It's a YouTube video that shows it, okay? If you'll either inbox me or befriend me on Facebook and remind me that that's what you're looking for, I will get you a video that will show you how to do that trailing stop. Okay. Can you explain the buy once more time? You want me to explain the buy one more time, but do you want me to explain, are you asking for the steps again? Or you just you want me to explain how to do a buy? Other than Facebook, can you contact me? Yes, you can contact me via Telegram. My name is Roshon Carnescent, and I'll type it in the chat. And that's my Telegram name, Roshon Carnescent. And you can contact me via Telegram. That's also my Facebook name too. How to do a buy. Do you want me to calculate pips for the buy or just go over the steps I just showed you on how to do a buy? I'm confused about what you want from me. I mean, I'll do it. I just got to know so I don't give you the wrong stuff. Besides Dr. Kathy's trades, is that the only other way you take trades? Berna, no, I can trade without Dr. Kathy's ECC 11 Vibrata. I've traded on my own before that a whole lot, and I made a lot of money doing it. I still trade on my own, and I make a lot of money doing that also. But I love, okay, I will, hold on. I'll go over those steps again. I do, but that's a whole lesson within itself. I've done a lot of price action. I've had a lot of trainings. And so I've kind of developed my own system. So yes, besides using that one, using her ECC 11 strategy, I do trade on my own or whatever. But even trading on my own, I learned it from Dr. Kathy. I basically have learned how to trade with Dr. Kathy, like literally. I used to be on with her. I've been trading with her for 2 years, and I used to be up all night long with her, like literally. We would be trading together. So, but let me go over these steps one more time for the young gentleman who asked me to show them again how my steps go when I'm my checklist goes when I'm trading. So I use the vibrata. I use that. I'm trying to make my mind think about it or whatever. I use that, and so I wait for a ding to come or a cha-ching to come through. And when the cha-ching comes through, I look at the trade, and it may say to buy it. Okay, and if it says to buy it or if it says to sell it, I take a look at it. So if I was looking at this trade, this is GBP JPY, and it said to buy GBP JPY, what I would do is the first thing I do is I look to see if price, and price is the candles. That's what price is to me, price. I look to see if they're above the cloud, okay? That's the first thing I look to see. And I look to see over here if it's gonna turn green, if it's green. So right here, it is gonna turn green. So I look to see if it's gonna be green. Okay, so when it's above the cloud and and over here it shows me that it's going to be green, that's a check mark. All right, that's good. So then the next thing I do is I look to see if the red line, because I trade with the cloud, all of my trade, I trade with cloud. I love the cloud too. If the red line is above the blue line, because red above blue tells me it's going into a buy, check mark. Okay, but if that's the case, and that's the check mark. Then the next thing I do is I see where current price is, and then I look left. And when I look left, I look to see this little green line. Where's this little green line gone in the past? And it's going all the way up to here, which is my next high. So then I circle this, and then I go across here. That's my take profit, straight across to current price. That would be my take profit. And I put my take profit in there. I put my phone down and go about my merry way. And it normally hits take profit. It's that simple. Those are my simple steps, honestly. That's how I look and do my trades. If I was looking for a sale, those steps would be opposite of what I just said. Now, understand, I gave you basics, but remember, in my head, I know a whole lot about the market. Okay, I need to make this disclaimer and then I'll answer the chat. I know a whole lot about the market. I know how the market moves. Okay, I have been studying for over 2 years. Okay, if you are a newbie, you have to be very careful about what you do. It's not, oh yeah, look, boom, yeah. Okay, I mean, I would have looked, you know, and that's just the way I do my trades. That's the simplest trade I know how to do. And this is a simple trade because it's going to go up there. If it can get above this high right here, it's going to go on up. But I wouldn't trade in this box. I don't like this box. I just don't like it. That's just me. All right, so chat. Will this video be recorded and shared? I like how you make it simple. Thank you, Monica. Yes, I would have said no, but here lately, Shantae has been posting my videos. So yeah, it should be posted. If you're subscribed to Dr. Kathy's channel, she shares all of Dr. Kathy's trainings there. If you go to YouTube, and I believe it's Dr. Kathy Kirkland, and all of her trainings are on there, because it's not just me. There's a lady that actually teaches the ECC strategy every night on our team, and they're posted in Dr. Kathy Kirkland's YouTube. But you have to subscribe to her channel, and then they're posted in there. I noticed that she's been posting every one of our trainings in there, market structure, all of that. It says, yeah, the same steps that you explained. Okay, yeah, I did on where the buy is. Yeah, the video, yes, it will be recorded and shared. One more time for us slow ones. Okay, I don't know if it's Jamie or Jaime, but you want me to go back through the same steps of when I get in a trade? Is that what you're asking me for? Oh, I build legacies. Yeah. Verna, you own it. Thank you. I appreciate you tonight. You are helping me fill in the blanks. Thank you. Yes, Roshon, I'll teach it well. Yes, Roshon. Oh, thank you. That's really nice. Makes me think my labor is not in vain. Monica K, thank you. I'll subscribe. Yes. You can't find me on Telegram? Are you on Telegram? Do you have a name that you can give me and I can look for you on Telegram? Okay, I will go through it in slow motion again. I think it's Jaime or Jamie. I'm sorry if I'm messing up your name. Please forgive me. Subscribe to her YouTube channel. Yes. Dr. Kathy Kirkland is an I Build Legacies. Let me see if I can. I know I got it. Yeah, it says it's Dr. Let me put it in the chat for you all that want to subscribe to her YouTube channel. I hope she doesn't kill me. Joyce, I see you. Just give me a second to get off of this and I'll respond back to you. Dr. Kathy Kirkland. And then it's I Build. Making sure I type it right. Give me a second, y'all. Okay, this is her YouTube channel. I'm putting it in here. I'm gonna put a dash YouTube. Okay, so Dr. Kathy Kirkland, I Build Legacies. And I hope she don't get mad at me. Okay, so that is her, okay. Let me see if I can find you on Telegram. Give me a second. Okay, I just sent you a message on Telegram. Let me know if you got it. I think this is Al, I don't know. It's at this one right here. I just sent it to you. Al, I don't know how to say your name. I apologize. But the one that gave me their screen name. Okay, you got it? Okay, we can talk back and forth. You can't find me on Telegram either. Oh my. Okay. Let me make sure my name is right. Okay, you know what? All right, so here's my name. I did not realize this. I thought it was the same thing, but it's not. Roshon, oh no, it's Roshon, RWJ Blessing. That's my Telegram name for those of you all who are looking for it. And I'm putting it in the chat. It's at RWJ Blessing. That's what it's telling me I'm supposed to, my username is. All right. So if you're looking for me on Telegram, it is at RWJ Blessing. Okay. Where does Teresa do her teaching? She does it on the Zoom chat every evening. She'll be on this evening. I'm planning on getting on with her tonight. And she does it for the I Build Legacy, Dr. Kathy's team. Now, if you subscribe to her YouTube channel, she posts her trainings in the YouTube channel. I do know that. If you're not on Dr. Kathy's team and you want to see some of her trainings for her team, you have to subscribe to her YouTube channel. Thank you, Cher. Ms. Teresa teaches ECC 11 strategy Monday through Thursday at 9:30 Eastern Central. Yes, she does. Absolutely right. All right. And I am running out of time. Okay, so I did the confirmation checklist. I am going to have to get to the spreadsheet next time because I have to go. I got about 3 minutes and I'm going to take the last maybe 1 or 2 questions. And then I will look at level supporting resistance. Hold on 1 second. Mm-hmm. Oh, no. Okay. I will do support and resistance next week, and I will do the spreadsheet next week on how to begin to build your account. I'm actually starting a new challenge for myself to start with $10 again. So, where does Teresa do her teachings? Maxine, she does it for I Build Legacies for Dr. Kathy's team, just like I do. And she does, they're posted in her YouTube channel after she's recorded like this. What I have seen Shantae do is after I finish this, probably tomorrow, she will put it in the chat. I mean, put it in the YouTube section for Dr. Kathy. So I have to go. I appreciate everybody that got on. You all have my Telegram name and my Facebook name. If there is something that you would like for me to go over, you are welcome. You know, something you would like for me to go over, is Dr. Kathy okay? Yeah. Dr. Kathy's gonna be fine. She is blessed by God. So nobody has to worry about that. God got her in his hands. She will be just fine, everybody. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. If you need anything, you can Facebook me, instant message me. I normally am at work, but because of the coronavirus, they have taken us off work for 2 weeks. I work for a school system. Anybody doesn't know, I'm a principal. So they've taken us off work for 2 weeks. So I'll be able to answer you if you email me, and I will do my very best to get you any of the answers you seek. So you all are welcome. I'm going to leave. I love you all. Be blessed, be safe. Y'all have a wonderful trading rest of the week and enjoy. Oh, and don't forget to get on with Dr. Kathy. Don't forget that. Get on with her in the morning time. She needs your support. I'm going to be getting on. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.